Welcome back everyone for another episode of the Budget AU build. Today's episode is going to be about installing the Hydro Handbrake. First time I've done this, so it's kind of a little bit of playing it by ear, but we'll see how we go. Alright, first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove the center console. Now, you probably noticed this is automatic. For the time being, I'm keeping it as an automatic, but if it survives this weekend, we will be putting a manual in this. Anyway, so to remove the center console, 2 bolts down here, 2 bolts underneath the cup holder. I don't think there's anything inside the actual center console, but we'll whip those out and we'll get this out of the way so we can start looking at how we're going to mount this Hydro Handbrake. Well, we've swapped sides, but center console's out, which gives me a lot more options where I want to mount the Hydro. I don't know if I want to mount it back here somewhere, possibly on an angle, or whether I mount it up on either side somewhere, but I'm looking at room and there's not a great deal of it. While I took the center console out though, I did realise that we have a bit of a factory optional extra. I don't know if it'll focus underneath the seat, it's so dark. I've got a fucking 6-stacker deck under there. But yeah, at the minute, I don't know if that'll give me enough throw there, or whether I make up a mounting bracket potentially over here, or try and mount it up here and remove the factory handbrake. I'll play around and I'll get back to you. Well, after a little bit of fucking around, I have removed the standard handbrake from here because I have decided that I want the Hydro to sit around about there. I don't know if I can hold it up. Because the thing is, it's not just me who'll be driving this car, it'll be my partner and her younger sister. So I need it to be fairly close to the steering wheel because they're both midgets. Sorry, you can't use the other wheel. Because they're both very short. But yeah, we'll make up a bracket for that to sit on and we can start plumbing up the brake line because this will be running straight into the rear brake lines. I won't be running brakes off the foot pedal. It'll be pure and simply through the Hydro. Now for the fun bit, fabricating the mount for it. So pretty much what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure across there, give myself a little bit of extra, probably an extra 5, maybe 10 mil total across the front edge. And because this is, I don't know if we'll show up on camera, tapered, I'll pretty much just measure there and I'll just add my extra 5-10 mil across here and just bring straight edge straight down, which pretty fucking easy. And then once it's on there, I'll get it all lined up where I want it, probably looking something along like that. Mark my holes, I'll drill them. I've got to wait for a new toy to get here before I can actually put this fully in the car. But pretty much I'll try and make this bracket up best I can for the time being. I don't know if I'm going to fold a 90-degree in it and use that as a mount, or whether I'll just end up tacking on 2 bits of flat down to the trans tunnel to, you know, stop flexing. But we'll get into that and we'll see how it turns out. Well, as we can see, I cut that, you know, straight as an arrow. Normally that would bother me, but because this is really just a paddock thrasher at the minute, I don't care that much. I did end up deciding on just bending a 90-degree across here and using that as the mount in the car. So I'm just gonna run the grinder just gently across that line, you know, square this time, and hopefully then that'll get me a nice clean bend, which all I really have to bend it is throw it in the vise and hit it with the hammer. So hang around, we'll see how this turns out. I'm not promising top quality fabrication here. After all, I build wind turbines, not weld and fabricate stuff anymore. So yeah. Well, by no means is it going to win any fabrication awards, but it will do the job. I've just gotten back from my local Total Tools with the new toy. So hopefully with this stuff, we can start doing a little bit bigger jobs. A lot of plans I've had for a long time, but we shall put it all together and start finishing off the green nugget. We haven't quite decided on a name yet, so if you have any ideas, leave them in the comments below. Well, she's all put together. Now to give her a little test. For those who are curious, it is a Viper 185. I have got all of the TIG attachments and everything as well, which I want to learn and have go at shortly. But for the time being, it's set up in the mid configuration. I'm just going to give it a quick test run on this old bit of steel. I've done a very good job of cleaning it up, but just give it a test, and once I'm happy with it, I will throw it in the car. I'll jump in the AU. We will weld the plate for the Hydro Handbrake in, and that can be fully mounted, and we can start plumbing that up, because we've only got a couple of days left. But yeah, we'll see what it looks like. So it's Thursday morning now. I'm not pointing fingers at anybody, but someone forgot to charge his camera gear last night and I had to stop just as I was about to weld. So we're going to now weld the hydro mount in and try and get this finished today, if not by Friday morning, because I've got to have this out at my mate's place by Friday afternoon to put the angle kit in, as well as to polish up a couple other little things. So let's get stuck back into it. It's a little bit smoky. Alright, so we're in the car. So far I have drilled a 10mm hole through the top of the trans tunnel, just behind the shifter. So I'll be routing my brake line, which I'll be undoing. Oh, you can't see anything. I'll be undoing that joiner there and feeding it back through. That should give me enough to bend and fold and move the brake line into the hydro. So we're going to undo that. We're going to undo all of these clamps to get it out, and then we will gently bend the brake line up into the car, and once it's in there we can do the rest of it. Well, after a little bit of messing around, we've got the brake line up through the car. You do have to take the 3 clamps off, but it's not too hard to do. So yeah, brake line's up in the car now. I've then got to bend it inside, plumb it up, and we can start bleeding the rear hydro / rear brakes, whatever you want to call them. And yeah, that's pretty much job done. Alright, well, we're inside the car, obviously. Pretty much all I need to do is just position that where I want it. So I'll probably pull up a little bit more, probably end up cable tying it across there to hold it steady. And I'm just going to do pretty much 90-degree bend, another 90-degree bend into the fitting here. And that's pretty much job done. So, thankfully, I bought a brake flaring kit years ago. Now, I'm pretty sure, going by the original fitting, it's meant to be a double flare, but I'm hoping I can get away with just doing a single flare on it with the new fitting I've got. Yeah, might work. even if it does leak a little bit, I'm not too stressed. It's literally just a paddock thrasher. So yeah, hold tight and we will get this done. Well, she's in. It's definitely not the most professional thing in the world, but it does the job. So once the girls get home, I'll get them to help me bleed the brakes, or the rear brakes. I've still got to block off the original rear brake line, which from memory is that one. Which all I'll do there is just, no, that's right front, left front, rear, so it's that one there. So yeah, I'll just unscrew that. I'll drop a ball bearing in there, screw it back down. That should block it off well enough for the weekend. And I'll just pull the ABS fuse so we don't have any problems with that. But yeah, that's pretty much done for the Hydro. Thanks for watching.